Hi there, today I'm going to be comparing the Merrell Trail 7 GTX Gore-Tex with the Merrell glove. And they have some similarities, but they are very, very different shoes. So one thing that they have similar is that they both have a Vibram sole, although it's different soles also. Just the fact that it's Vibram, but this one is a very flexible sole. See, it's really pure barefoot shoes. And this one is very stiff. So it's like normal shoes. It's not barefoot at all. That being said, I must say, because these ones of course are waterproof and these are just normal shoes. And from my experience, almost every single barefoot shoe that is waterproof that I know has a very stiff sole. They're generally very stiff. There is only one exception so far that I've tried, which is these ones. These ones are from Ainza. And yeah, these ones are also flexible. So these ones are bareproof and flexible. They are the only barefoot waterproof shoes I found that are really flexible. That being said, I love these shoes. I like these shoes for everyday life, but for hiking, I do like that it has a bit of arch support, and because I have flat feet, so that's not very, arch support is not very barefoot, but I do like it, and it's one of the reasons why the gloves are really my favorite shoes of all time. That's why they look so bad, because I just love them so much. I use them the whole summer, 4 summers. I've had them for years now. But whereas this arch support is, again, because the sole is very flexible, it really molds to your feet. In this one, because again it's very stiff, your feet has to mold to the arch, and you do notice the arch a lot, especially if you're used to using barefoot shoes. You will notice this arch a lot. It's basically like using normal shoes, whereas I even think this arch is higher than in most shoes. I had to order this as way bigger, so this is a 37, and for you to see the difference, even when I put them, let's see if you can see, right next to each other, you can see that the toe box on the gloves, even though this is a 37 and this is a 38.5, this one is still has a wider toe box, because these ones are pure, in terms of toe box, these ones are pure barefoot shoes. They are very wide. You can see it's wider here than here, as it should be. And yeah, they are very comfortable. These ones here, you can see it's almost the same bright here as here. The width is almost the same. It's like typical shoes. They are not really barefoot in that sense, and the toes still get squeezed. The fabric is soft, but it's not elastic, so it cannot go wider than this. So if your feet are very, they're not very high, they're very low, then maybe your toes can have space, the proper space. But other than that, again, I had to order this in 38.5 in order to have a bit more space, and still I do feel my especially my little toe gets squeezed here. These strings here are only to make it tighter, because they cannot make it brighter, because again, it's not elastic. Whereas this one's, of course, it's normal strings. You can make it as bright as you want. The other thing that is different is that to enter, so these are like diving shoes, if you ever had diving shoes. So but even more stiff, I would say, because they are also soled. So kind of like it's very hard to enter. I wouldn't say impossible, because of course you can enter them, but these are not definitely shoes that you put on and take off several times a day. These are more shoes that you put on and then you hike and then you take them out. But it's because to put them on, the trick is, for me, some people use those shoe tongues, I don't know how it's called, to wear, to help enter. But for me, what I do is I push this like this, and then I try and put my foot inside. I push my foot down while I'm pushing this backwards. And yeah, it is a bit hard, It's doable, but it's hard. The other thing is that, as most diving shoes, they have this sewing here in the back and then the same inside, and around here in the middle, which is also where your ankle, not really your ankle, you know, that you know, the heel, between the heel, you know, that part here in the back of your foot on top of your heel, it touches there. And for me, when I had the 38, it did hurt. Now with the 38.5, it doesn't hurt so much, or almost nothing. I hardly feel it, but I haven't walked with them for a long distance, so I cannot know yet. To be honest, these are from all the, because before I used barefoot shoes, I used to use Merrell a lot. I always loved Merrell shoes, and this might be the only Merrell shoes I've ever had that you have to get your feet to break into the shoe, where the shoe doesn't just, you know, work immediately, to be honest. And that's a bit disappointing. I'm not sure yet if I'll keep them. I tried them on wet surfaces. They are waterproof. They, of course, if it's on a wet tile, it will slip, but the good thing is that it does stick afterwards, because there's the new waterproof Merrells also, which I forgot the name, which I thought of getting. They look more like boots, like normal boots, but everyone says they're very slippery because they don't have a Vibram sole. So yeah, so far that is good. The other thing I like about them is that when you put them under cold water, so like then your feet feels cold, doesn't get wet because it's waterproof. I tested that already, but the feet gets cold, and it stays cold until the shoe dries, which also dries very fast, which is something that one of my favorite features about the gloves, because my feet get very hot when I walk. And I love that I can just put them inside, you know, put them inside a stream of water or something, and then my feet get immediately cooled down. And that also works here. I don't know if I will like that when there's snow and my feet get really cold, but now for this rainy weather, I like that. More things that are different. Yeah, I think it's basically that. So these are advertised as barefoot shoes, but I would say they are at best minimalistic, because again, the only thing they have is the zero drop. Yeah, the zero drop is the same. Yeah, that's barefoot, but other than that, the toe box is very, very tight. They are not flexible at all, and yeah, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, let me know.